Hello everyone and welcome back to our Tarot Meaning series. So far we've explored the Fool, the card of new beginnings, and the Magician, the card of action and manifestation. Today we're moving on to one of the most mysterious and spiritually powerful cards in the Tarot, the High Priestess. Unlike the Magician, who teaches us to act, the High Priestess teaches us to pause. She reminds us that not every answer is found by doing. Sometimes the greatest wisdom comes through listening, observing, and trusting your intuition. Before we begin, take a moment to simply look at the card. What draws your attention first? Do you notice the pillars, the moon, the scroll? You see, every symbol has a purpose, and together they reveal the deeper meaning of this beautiful card. So let's explore them. First, impressions. The High Priestess sits peacefully between two great pillars. She doesn't chase answers or demand attention. She simply waits, calm and self-assured, knowing that true wisdom reveals itself when the time is right. This card has a quiet energy, but don't mistake quietness for weakness. The High Priestess represents inner strength, spiritual knowledge, intuition, mystery, and the wisdom that comes from within. The two pillars. On either side of the High Priestess stands two pillars. One is blacked and marked with the letter B, representing Boras. The other is white and marked with a letter J, representing Jachin. These pillars come from the entrance of King Solomon's temple, and they symbolize duality, light and dark, masculine and feminine, logic and intuition. Also the conscious and the subconscious. So the High Priestess sits perfectly between them. She teaches us that true wisdom often lies in balance rather than choosing one side over the other. The veil behind her. Behind the High Priestess hangs a veil decorated in pomegranates and palm leaves. The veil represents the hidden world. It separates what we already know from the mysteries that are waiting to be discovered. It reminds us that not everything is meant to be revealed immediately. Some answers arrive only when we're truly ready to receive them. The pomegranates. The pomegranates woven into the veil have long symbolized abundance, sacred knowledge, fertility, and hidden wisdom. Because they contain so many seeds beneath a simple outer shell, they remind us that there is often far more beneath the surface than first appears. People, situations, and even our own emotions usually hold deeper meanings if we're willing to look beyond the appearances. The crescent moon. The High Priestess's feet rest at a crescent moon. The moon has always been associated with intuition, dreams, emotions, cycles, and the subconscious mind. Placed at her feet, it symbolizes her mastery over these hidden realms. So rather than being controlled by emotion, she understands that it works within. This reminds us to honor our feelings without letting them control our choices. The blue robes. The High Priestess is dressed in a flowing blue robe. Blue represents wisdom, truth, peace, spirituality, and emotional depth. The calm color reflects her gentle nature and her connection to higher understanding. She doesn't need to raise her voice to be powerful. Quiet confidence often carries the greatest of strengths. The cross on her chest. Around her neck is a cross with equal arms. This symbol represents the balance between the spiritual and physical worlds. It reminds us that our spiritual life and everyday life are not separate. Our intuition can guide us through ordinary decisions just as much as profound spiritual experiences. The scroll. Resting in her hands is a scroll marked with the word Torah, often interpreted as representing sacred wisdom or divine knowledge. Notice that part of the scroll is hidden beneath her cloak. This is important because it reminds us that knowledge isn't simply handed to us all at once. Some truths unfold gradually as we gain experience, maturity, and understanding. The upright meaning. When the High Priestess appears upright, she often asks us to slow down, to listen more than we speak, and to trust our instincts. She reminds us to pay attention to our dreams, synchronicities, and those quiet feelings that whisper instead of shout. She can represent intuition, patience, hidden knowledge, spiritual growth, study, mastery, and allowing things to unfold naturally. Sometimes this card appears because the answers you're searching for already exist within you. You simply need to trust yourself enough to hear it. The reversed meaning. When reversed, the High Priestess can suggest that you've become disconnected from your intuition. Perhaps you're overthinking everything. Maybe you're ignoring your inner voice because logic feels safer. Sometimes this card appears when secrets are causing confusion, when information is being withheld, or when you're struggling to trust yourself. Rather than seeking more opinions from everyone around you, the reversed High Priestess gently asks, what does your inner wisdom say? How the High Priestess appears in different readings. In love, the High Priestess often encourages patience and emotional honesty. She can suggest that feelings haven't yet been fully expressed, or that there's more happening beneath the surface than you currently realize. In a career reading, she may point towards learning, research, education, and trusting your judgment, or maybe waiting until all the facts are available before making an important decision. Spiritually, this is one of the most powerful cards in the tarot. It speaks of awakening intuition, strengthening your connection with spirit, meditation, self-reflection, and discovering truths that cannot always be explained by logic alone. So bringing it all together, when I see the High Priestess in a reading, I see someone standing at the doorway between the known and the unknown. A reminder that not every answer arrives through action. Sometimes the greatest breakthroughs happen in the moments of stillness. So this card invites us to trust ourselves, to embrace mystery, to recognize that intuition is not something magical that only a few possess. It's a quiet inner compass that we all carry if we're willing to listen. So thank you so much for joining me for today's lesson on the High Priestess. I hope this has helped you see that every symbol on the card carries a message, and that understanding those symbols can deepen your tarot practice in incredible ways. Next time we'll be exploring the Empress, a card of nurturing, abundance, creativity, and the beautiful power of growth. So until next time, take care of yourselves, trust your intuition, and remember, the High Priestess teaches us that the quietest voice is often the one that knows the way. Lots of love and light, guys.